Empathy, the ability to feel what others feel. A superpower, except when it's not. You look at the world today, and it's almost impossible not to see the pain of the others. Even if you don't leave your house, social media has made sure of that. I'm not sure about you, but I can barely cope with it. What do you do? It's not like you have any leverage over most of the things going on around you. So you can't really do anything. So then what do? You probably turn away, and I don't blame you. Empathy, while needed to be a good, functioning social being, can be a bitch. It's very interesting. Some people don't feel it, and some feel it way too much. Empathy has been a part of our conversations for a while now. I think the absolute lack of it is quite explored when we talk about sociopaths. We have a plethora of true crime documentaries on streaming platforms talking about it. Some people even make these documentaries their whole personality. I'm looking at you. And that's why I'm not really going into that with this video. This is not your average, if you don't have empathy, you turn into a sociopath kind of video. This is more of a how do you manage empathy in a world full of pain? Why empathy may not be the most important thing when dealing with others in pain? Why men may or may not have lesser empathy than women? Kind of video. I looked into it, so you don't have to. Have you ever wondered, why do we even need empathy? In a survival of the fittest world, empathy seems pretty counterproductive. Why do we need to feel what others feel? Can't we just blow them up and occupy their land? Well, you shouldn't do that. Too late for that, I guess. Empathy, believe it or not, probably developed to help us be better socially. Human beings are social animals. We do things together. In unity we thrive, in unity we thrash. But how do you manage large groups of people? You need to talk to them. You need to get them excited or angry about the same things. You need to make them feel what you feel. And that's why we developed a deep-rooted trait of empathy. And as communication advanced, it amplified the use of empathy. If we felt what others felt, we could relate to them better, and thus either follow them or lead them better. It also helped us in caregiving and avoiding conflicts. It looks like it's not just some weak ass emotion that woke people enforce on others. It's a social advantage that we gained through evolution. Did you know that men are often perceived as having a harder time showing empathy? This perception is influenced by gender bias and social expectations, rather than a fundamental difference in actual capacity of empathy. Research shows that men and women have similar abilities for empathy, but men may express it differently due to cultural norms that historically valued toughness and emotional restraint. It shaped how men showed their emotion, not their ability to feel them. And this isn't just restricted to men. Women also come from the same society, and thus many may suppress their empathy in order to show strength. Our world is quite different than what we're told. We don't need to suppress empathy in order to survive. In fact, empathy is quite essential in building strong relationships, collaboration, and understanding across all genders. Recognizing and overcoming these outdated stereotypes allows everyone, men and women alike, to fully engage with the empathy our society needs. I thought that's when you change things up a bit. I looked it up, and guess what? There have already been multiple researches studying this empathy fatigue. Who would have known? But the solution they found was compassion training. It is when you avoid any and every conflict in the world, do not care for others, only worry about yourself, and become an entrepreneur. is what you wish it was. But it's not. It's far more easier than that. To say it simply, it is a practice which emphasizes compassion over empathy. Sounds like a sham, to be honest. Don't they mean the same thing? Compassion, empathy. Stop making up multiple words for being weak and emotional. That's sarcasm, by the way. Just apparently in psychology and in general, empathy is the capacity to understand and share another's feeling, while compassion builds on that by adding the motivation to actually relieve their suffering. It is the next step. I didn't know that. But did you know that the term empathy was introduced into the English language following the German notion of Einfühlung, which meant feeling into, which originally described resonance with works of art, and only later was used to describe the resonance with human beings. What I'm about to tell you might seem irrelevant at first. It seemed to me that way. But apparently, it is not. According to multiple researches that I had to go through, what I found absolutely necessary in avoiding empathy fatigue and employing compassion training is self compassion. Self fucking. Stop telling me to love myself. I hate myself. I wanna die. People with empathy fatigue are likely to avoid their own feelings and not be kind to themselves. It is often found that they are self critical to the point of failure. So, the number one thing to do when practicing compassion training is to notice when you're being critical of yourself. It is okay and even needed to reflect on that criticism. But what is also needed is that you're kind to yourself, that you tell yourself that it is hard, but I'm learning, and that is okay. Vocal self affirmations have actually shown to reduce empathy fatigue. Talk to yourself, guys. All of this builds our internal resources so that being empathetic to others doesn't drain us emotionally. I guess the best advice that I came upon was feel for them instead of feeling with them. Feeling with them is the first step, and especially if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of empathy. But when it becomes too much, it is not really helpful. What is helpful is feeling for them, wishing good upon them, planning an action, direct or indirect, that can actually help them. It sounds pretty selfish to say, seeing what's going on around in the world right now. But we have to set our boundaries. Take a step back if needed. Recover, recalibrate, focus on yourself. And if it is difficult to take a step back, which it is sometimes, talk to someone who would understand. We are social animals after all. We are pretty sensitive. We need each other. Other things that have been found to help are being creative, physically active, and meditation. How is meditation the solution to everything? But again, what will help the most is just talking to yourself. When something like this happens, you feel empathy fatigue, tell yourself, I can't actually do anything about it right now. I need to take time out, preserve my mental health, and then maybe find a way in which I could actually help, however small it may be. It could even be just getting aware of the situation and celebrate these small wins, like you celebrate these videos by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And do that new thing, hype. Yeah, do that also. Do everything. Tell me about your day in the comments, because at Bedroom Labs, we care. I'm kidding. I have empathy fatigue now. Gotta go take a step back. Bye.